الآن بعد المداخلة الدكتورة حفيظة سيأخذنا الدكتور عادل بن محمد بن زهران الكندي في محوره حول دور القيادة التعليمية في تعزيز الاقتصاد التعليمي من خلال التحول الرقمي المدعوم بالذكاء الاصطناعي. سيتناول كيفية استثمار التحول الرقمي في تحسين الإدارة التعليمية وتحقيق نتائج أكثر فاعلية في اقتصاديات التعليم. الدكتور المهندس عادل بن محمد بن زهران الكندي ومن سلطنة عمان، لديه دكتوراه في الإدارة في القيادة والتمكين النفسي والأداء السلوكي من الجامعة الماليزية للتكنولوجيا بماليزيا، ماجستير هندسة، ولديه مجموعة من المساهمات بالإضافة إلى مهامه الإدارية ومهامه المهنية كالربانية والإلكترونية بجامعة السلطان قابوس بسلطنة عمان. لديه بكالوريوس تكنولوجيا الطيران، الهياكل ومحركات والإلكترونيات، جامعة أمبري ريدل لعلوم الطيران بالولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، وهو مهندس طائرات مرخص، أستاذ مساعد ومحاضر وباحث في القيادة والإدارة وهندسة الطيران والسلامة الجوية والتحويل المؤسساتي. تفضل دكتور المهندس عادل بن محمد بن زهران في حدود 10 إلى 15 دقيقة. شكرا.
شكرا دكتور، شكرا للحضور الكرام على إتاحة هذه الفرصة إن شاء الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة على النبي المصطفى.
دكتور عادل مش حنحتسب المدة دي.
هي مساهمة دكتور يعني. بسم الله. بطارية شغالة لأن البوينتر شغال، فمعنى ذلك أن كل شيء ما يرامس. This is my, but I would like to ask your permission. I'm going to present in English, though I'm an Arab, but my education is in English, higher education. We'll start with the problem statement. The issue in our days is the lack of, we have constraint in economic constraint. Therefore, to be able to improve our education, we need to have the means of improvement of education. Therefore, we need to improve our efficiencies. One of the reasons now, we say that we want to improve our education, however, we have deficiencies in the leadership. We have an issue on the leadership. So now, studies have viewed that digital transformation was studied separately from the leadership studies. They have not been put in together. Therefore, we had to ensure that the studies are inclusive, the leadership studies in it. The motive here is to investigate the ways of optimization of educational economies through the roles of education, profession, production function, transformation leadership, and digital transformation. And there's another motive here. We wanted to confirm that the leadership, when it does its effect on economics of education, does it do it directly or through another motivation or another mediation process? So therefore, we studied the digital transformation in AI digital transformation to confirm the mediation role of digital transformation in AI. What's the significance of this study? Highlight the importance of TL in fostering successful digital transformation. It's explain how digital transformation and AI could affect the economics of education. It contributes in bridging theoretical gaps. As I said in the beginning, the studies we're doing separately. So now we combine three variables together. Transformation leadership with digital transformation, as well as in the EPF, that we can see eventually how it's going to affect on the EPF. Provide scholarly foundation in AI era, exploring the educational leadership ability to enhance educational economics and institutional performance. So economics and performance of the institutions. Informs policymakers, educational administrators, and leadership development programs on how to encourage leadership competencies that align with institutional goals. Introduced as a mediation of AI digital transformation, striving to assess the mediation role in this relationship. The study scope is a cross-sectional study. It's going to be done in the Middle East institutions. This is number one. Number two, it focuses in higher education institutes that implementing in transformation in these institutes. The main study variables are transformation leadership, digital transformation NI, and the EPF. And the main scope, of course, is the improvement of education's economics. So research questions objective, they are presented in here. You have the theories, fourth hypothesis that we introduce, and the objective and research questions. We have done an assessment of these four hypotheses theoretically, and we were able to support the four hypotheses theoretically at this stage. What we did, what we're going to perform the instrument, how we're going to collect data. The data will be collected by using instruments from transformation leadership. We have two theories here that we combine the three theories together. One of them is transformation leadership, so we're going to use LPI, and for the digital transformation, we're going to use a TOUT1. And the last one is EPF. We're going to use the custom EPF assessment test by Hanesek 2020. What is the conceptual framework? As we have three theories that we combine together in this study, transformation leadership. So we combine transformation leadership, digital AI digital transformation, and the EPF. So this is our conceptual framework. We have a direct relationship assessment, and the second relationship is going to go through the AI digital transformation. By doing this, we'll be able to assess the mediation role of AI digital transformation, which is H4. So we have the four theories or hypotheses that we built in this study. This is a conceptual study that I introduced based on the study of the three theories of this study. We studied about transformation leadership and the digital transformation through the OTAU, and also we discussed the EPF. The majority of us are confirmed we know about the EPF because it's education production function, and it measures the output based on the input and the processes functions. So we believe that transformation leadership it may have a direct relationship with the processes and inputs. It may manipulate the input and processes and improvement. But however, now we're introducing that the relationship, it can go through the AI digital transformation, and thus the four variables that we're going to measure, and through it we're going to see it's a relationship is going to be also be able to manipulate it. Eventually, it's going to lead to the improvement of the education production function outputs, and that's our gains in the constraints of economy nowadays. This is the discussion of our study. What did we find from this study? What we found is transformation leadership and digital transformation, H1, the 5 practices of transformation leadership by Kozas and Posner, they have impacting directly on UTAUT, so they can enhance the outcome of IDT. The next one is H2, the relationship between digital transformation and EPF. We found that digital transformation, AI, improved EPF by optimization of the resources. So that's what we need, because we have scarce of resources and we're striving to improve that. By personalizing learning and increasing institutional efficiency, leading to optimization of resources use. That's a core of our study, is the improvement of the EPF. Going further, is on the other hypothesis, we found that there are direct relationships between EPF and transformation leadership. And the last one, the mediation. There was no study so far that presented digital transformation in AI as a core or as a mediation process. However, we were able theoretically to improve or to prove this relationship. So establish links between the H1 and H2, and therefore we theoretically we proved that the relationship, the mediation relationship is there. However, we don't know how strong it is. Is it half or full mediation or no mediation? So we need empirical studies to carry further studies on this to prove the mediation role of AI digital transformation. Our conclusion of the study, that the study fulfilled the crucial role in education economics for the system sustainability, because here we're not looking only for the only one-time transformation, but we're looking for sustainability of the system. Number 2, it supports the evolution of AI in education. So we know that AI can do something in education. It supports further by putting it in the middle and allow us to mediate the relationship between the leadership and the EPF. It illustrated the role of education transformation leadership in leading the strategies of education economics directly and through the digital transformation. It was well presented in this study. And the last one is the presence of transformation leadership is essential for the successful of both transformation, digital transformation AI and the EPF transformation. It requires leadership to be able to lead these transformations. What's the implication of the study? We have theoretical and we have practical implication. Theoretical, we establish conceptual framework on the optimization of education economics. It presented digital transformation AI as a mediator between the transformation leadership and EPF. We assess the role of education leadership in leading higher education transformation. TL proposed to be a leadership that's going to be used to lead the transformation in these organizations, in higher education organizations. It highlights the requirement to establish strategic framework focusing on streamlining the operation and boosting financial performance. It addresses the higher education potential resistant change. We need leadership to overcome the resistance. Any change in any organization, you may have resistance. So transformation leadership can play a role in overcoming these resistances within the organizations. Implication, practically, the leadership programs, they must take into consideration the transformation leadership in education and their role in transformation of EPF and digital transformation. Policymakers and education planners to recognize leadership styles, because any transformation, as I said, it required orchestration from the leaders. If there's no leadership, there's no transformation. You may have a lot of problems. So you need to have the policymakers will take that into consideration. AI implementation framework to incorporate leadership readiness as prerequisite for any transformation. Resources allocation within higher education, it must be hooked to the leader's requirement as well. Limitation of the study. This study is limited to literature review only. It's a conceptual study at this stage, so it requires further assessment. This study did not take into consideration the cultural impact. What we do here, we studied in the Middle East only, but we need to take the culture of part of it to be part of the study, because if you go to another culture, like Asian culture, that must be considered as well. This study is in higher education only, so it didn't take in any primary school or any sort of institution beside the higher education. And also it's a cross-sectional study, so cross-sectional study is a short study. It required a longitudinal study to overcome this issue. And those are the recommendations for the future study based on the limitations. So you need to do conceptual, empirical studies need to be conducted for the further and ensure that the system is going to be working well. Another thing is address the cultural impact on the higher education transformation, because the transformation may be affected by the culture. Another one, we need to extend the scope. Now the scope is only limited to higher education institute. We want to extend it further to other institutes like private schools. We need to establish a cause-effect relationship. So the studies may require 3 years, 4 years, or even 10 years down the stream to ensure that this relationship can be established, causality of it. So this is a conceptual model that I explained further. This is another one that gives you more details on the studied concept. Anyways, you have transformation leadership, and we have AI digital transformation and the EPF. Any questions, please?
Thank you.
Thank you.
شكرا. ممكن تسكر فقط الميكرو.